For the past year, Poco has flooded the smartphone market with a variety of options across different price segments. But the question is, were those options the true blue contenders in their respective price range? For instance, the X5 Pro's specs shown under 25,000 rupees, but was it a truly groundbreaking device or just another contender in the mid-range brawl? Then there's the M6 Pro and M6, two phones that scream bang for the buck. But let's be real, budget phones cut corners. I mean, they're good for the general stuff, but flagship slayers, I doubt it. Now, the Poco F5 surely packed a punch, but we also know that the sub 35,000 rupees price segment is also pretty crowded. This brings me to this phone right here. This is the Poco X6 Pro, the complete mid-range package. Sounds tempting, right? But again, the main question is, does it deliver? Does it have stellar battery life or just enough to scrape by? Does the camera wow or not? Should it be your next smartphone? Well, that's what we are here to find out in this review. Hello everyone, I'm here for Fiiber buying it today, and before we get on with the rest of the review of the Poco X6 Pro, consider hitting that red subscribe button for detailed tech videos and also turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest updates. With that said, let's get started. Now, this is probably the most fanciest colorway of the Poco X6 Pro. While the other color options sport a glossy polycarbonate back, this one has the company's signature yellow color in a vegan leather finish, which is extremely grippy to hold and has a good in-hand feel. Now, I won't deny that this surface does get quite a bit dirty. And of course, you can always put a case on it, but you know, the true beauty of this phone is without the case. But then again, you can always, use a damp cloth and wipe it off clean and it will be good as new. Also, I'm still determining how the leather is going to hold up against nicks and scratches in the long run. That said, for what it's worth, the X6 Pro in yellow is eye-catching. But apart from the yellow finish, other elements of this phone also make it stand out. The protruding camera island has a Damascus sort of a texture which looks absolutely awesome. The black side rails along with the yellow power button looks classy. The buttons themselves are clicky and have satisfying tactile feedback. There's an in-display fingerprint sensor which works fast and accurately, no issues whatsoever. I also love the flat nature of the phone. I mean, it is flat from the front, slightly curved on the corners from the back for the grip. The phone itself is light and doesn't feel cumbersome to operate, considering we are talking about a 6.67 inches canvas here. To top it all off, other nifty features such as an IR blaster up top and an IP54 rating for dust and water resistance are also present on the Poco X6 Pro. The Poco X6 Pro boasts a top-notch display which is flat, which makes it perfect for gamers, and also, it is perfect for people who love to watch content because the panel is vivid and quite nice. So this right here is a 12-bit 6.67 inches AMOLED display with 1.5K resolution that is a little over Full HD Plus. Sweet. There's a 120Hz refresh rate and there's a 2160Hz touch sampling rate, and let me tell you, taps and touches, especially while gaming, are pretty accurate on this thing. Overall, the panel looks sharp and vibrant. Of course, support for HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision only add to the appeal. Plus, the peak brightness of 1800 nits makes sure that legibility isn't an issue in any sort of light, indoors or outdoors. The Poco X6 Pro also boasts dual speakers for the stereo effect, and here's an idea of how they sound. Overall, the audio output on the Poco X6 Pro is pretty loud and clear. I would say it is perfect for listening to music in the shower or watching a movie with a friend. Now on to the performance bit. The Poco X6 Pro at a price range of under 30,000 rupees packs some real top tier punch. I mean, just look at the specs. There's a MediaTek Dimensity 8300 Ultra SoC under the hood. There's up to 12GB LPDDR5X RAM and up to 512GB UFS 4.0 storage. And yes, you heard that right, LPDDR5X RAM and UFS 4.0 storage on a mid-range phone. I mean, you get something like this on high-end expensive flagship smartphones, but getting it on a pure mid-range smartphone. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Okay, a quick look at the benchmark numbers. With performance mode enabled in Geekbench 6, the Poco X6 Pro scored 1404 in single core and 4575 in multi-core, matching the performance prowess of a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 SoC. Even in Antutu, the phone scored pretty near the 1.5 million mark, a score previously unheard of for a mid-range smartphone. Now, of course, partially the reason for this power-packed performance is also HyperOS atop Android 14, also making this phone the first one to launch in India with the latest software build. One nagging con is the amount of bloatware you just can't ignore, so if you don't need an app, just uninstall it. Thankfully, the option is there in the software. But the small niggle aside, if you are coming from MIUI, you will feel right at home with HyperOS. In fact, I feel the user experience is better and faster. There's a sleek and new system-wide font. The control center is brand new. Given such solid hardware, the software flies on this thing. The look and feel of the UI feels refined and polished, plus the animations and transitions feel buttery smooth, especially the rubber band effect when you reach the end of a page feels so satisfying. Otherwise, also, I didn't come across any major lags or stuttering while using the phone. In fact, the gaming experience on this phone has been pretty good, and the best part is that the phone does not overheat, something that I also noted in the gaming review of the smartphone. By the way, you can check out this card above if you want to watch the full gaming review of the Poco X6 Pro. The Poco X6 Pro is equipped with a 5000 mAh battery which supports a 67-watt fast charging, and the 67-watt charger is supplied in the box. First up, in terms of charging speeds, the phone is fairly fast to go from dead to 100% in about 50 minutes. And in terms of endurance, again, the Poco X6 Pro fared pretty well. I was easily getting a day of battery life with some gaming, watching video content, using the camera, and doing usual day-to-day tasks. For perspective, an hour of intense gaming session drains 15 to 16% battery, while an hour of watching video content drains about 9 to 10% battery. The Poco X6 Pro is equipped with a 64-megapixel primary rear camera with OIS. This is paired with an 8-megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera, a 2-megapixel macro camera, and a 16-megapixel snapper for selfies. Now, in good light, the primary camera captures vibrant photos that are detailed and sharp. Even the dynamic range for a mid-range phone, as you can make out in this photo, is pretty decent considering the phone does a fairly good job at balancing out the bright and dark areas in a scene. However, the photos taken from the ultra-wide camera are passable. I mean, in terms of color reproduction, there's very little disparity from the primary lens, but sharpness and details leave a little to desire. But again, the primary camera is pretty amazing given there's good light, human skin tones are captured accurately. It never looked like the colors went overboard. In fact, portrait mode photos are also on par with the general shots when it comes to colors and details, and of course, the edge detection in portrait mode shots is on point. As for the photos taken in night, once again, colors look pretty much natural when clicking objects and landscapes. The best part is that I never found the color of the sky to look artificial. Also, the camera does a fine job when it comes to managing highlights. However, when it comes to preserving shadows in a photo, for instance, look at the dark areas around the tree's stem. Things like this need some tuning. Also, while clicking human subjects, you will need to have steady hands, which I don't have. So the facial textures were lost in my results. I am talking about general as well as portrait photos. In fact, even turning on night mode did not help. Apart from this, daylight selfies turned out amazing. HDR performance was good. Skin tone and texture looks solid. Overall, I am satisfied with the results. However, to get a decent selfie in dim light, once again, you will need to keep your hands steady. So right now I'm shooting from the rear camera of the Poco X6 Pro. This is the 4K 30 FPS sample. This is the max this phone can shoot. And this is the kind of quality that you get. Of course, colors look quite decent, not very saturated, not dull, just the right amount. HDR performance is also quite nice, quite decent. As you can see, I'm pointing right at the sun. And other than this, pans also feel quite smooth. I also didn't find any sort of jitter in the exposure while moving around the camera. How does the audio sound, and the stabilization is also quite nice actually. So what do you think about the overall quality? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. And next up is the selfie video. And this right here is the selfie video being shot on the Poco X6 Pro. This is a 1080p 30 FPS sample. This is the max this phone can shoot. Of course, I would have loved to have a 60 FPS option right here, but even the 1080p 30 FPS recording is quite good. HDR performance is very nice. I'll just show it to you. So right now I'm against the sun, directly against the sun. It's right behind me.
And see, the HDR performance is actually very nice. How does the overall quality look? How does the colors look? My skin tone? How does the audio sound? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments, and also what do you think about the stabilization, which I think is actually very nice. So yeah, what do you think about the video quality of the Poco X6 Pro? Write down in the comments. And next up is the verdict.
Summing up, the Poco X6 Pro is an exceptional mid-range phone that offers good value for money. There's powerful performance on offer, the display is stunning, not to mention it is flat and the bezels are slim. Then the battery life is solid, HyperOS looks promising, and there's promise of 3 years of Android updates, and the camera performance is quite compelling, especially during daylight. So overall, the Poco X6 Pro is an easy go-to choice for anyone who wants to buy a solid phone without breaking the bank. Sure, some niggles such as the hit or miss camera performance at night or unnecessary bloatware might be minor drawbacks for some, but when you consider everything the X6 Pro packs in at its price point, it is hard to find a better deal. Fiiber rates the Poco X6 Pro a solid 8 out of 10, and you also let me know your thoughts about this phone in this bright yellow colorway. What are your thoughts on the design? Let me know everything in the comments, and as always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Fiiber. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.